American soldiers risk their lives fighting for America's ideals. With that comes American soldiers returning home, damaged mentally and physically. But who's there when they come home? Are they forgotten? Today, I will persuade you to give your time and volunteer for the Wounded Warrior Project. I'm qualified to speak on this topic because I have pored over numerous reports and graphs and done extensive research regarding this topic. I will discuss the needs that the Wounded Warrior Project works to combat, as well as the solution to the needs presented. Lastly, I will explain what will happen if we fail to volunteer. To begin, mental health is a big obstacle soldiers that have experienced combat must deal with. Not only do 1 in 3 veterans live with post-traumatic stress or PTSD, but 1 in 3 veterans feel that they don't get the mental health services they need. Researchers from Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. reported this year that 54% of veterans with PTSD also had sleep apnea, compared with 20% of PTSD patients in the general population. A June study in the Journal Archives of General Psychiatry found that 1 in 10 Iraq war vets develop serious mental problems, including violent behavior, depression, and alcohol abuse. The study found that PTSD or depression seriously impaired daily functioning in 8.5 to 14% of these vets. Although mental health is probably the most well-known physical problem with vets, physical health is still a pressing problem. Physical health and wellness. A public health nutrition article links food insecurity, which affects as many as 25% of veterans, to chronic pain and obesity. Other factors that increase the rates of these conditions among veterans are the lower cost of unhealthy foods and dietary practice developed during military service. The need to eat high-fat and high-carbohydrate foods while in active service, coupled with the get-it-and-go culture, can influence eating habits upon return to civilian lifestyle. At the same time, the rate of veterans with obesity is also rising at alarming rates, and addressing this problem is more complicated because the causes are more complex than poverty. For example, one study found that 51% of wounded veterans are overweight, and for them, fear injury is one of the biggest impediments of leading an active life. At the same time, veterans are more likely to experience stress, anxiety, and depression, all of which can include binge eating as one of the symptoms. Along with physical health and mental health, employment can also be an issue for veterans. April of 2020, veterans' unemployment stood at 12%, representing veterans. While the veteran employment rate fluctuates from month to month, it doesn't always tell the whole story. These statistics don't consider the 100% of jobless veterans, as it only reflects those who have filed for unemployment assistance and are actively looking for a job. In other words, even if the unemployment rate for the veterans drop, the total figure is likely much higher than recorded. The 3-month moving average of unemployment peaked for recent veterans at 13.9% of the labor force. The unemployment peak for non-veterans was 9.2%, while the peak for older veterans was 7.9%. Unemployment remained high for recent veterans. These situations aren't hopeless though. The Wounded Warrior Project offers counseling for warriors struggling with PTSD and other mental ailments with the Warrior Care Network, a world-renowned medical center, and Project Odyssey, a 12-week mental health program that uses adventure-based learning to help warriors overcome their mental challenges such as PTSD. The Wounded Warrior Project also offers coaching program that helps soldiers get the nutritional help they need, as well as personal trainers to help them get back into an active lifestyle. Warriors to Work is another way Wounded Warrior Project serves the veterans. The program equips warriors with necessary job placement opportunities, among other things. All these and more are offered to the veterans by the Wounded Warrior Project, but they can't continue without your help. The different ways to volunteer is you can go to their website and you will see that you can gift in kind, which is non-monetary gifts, and you can also donate funds, which is monetary gifts. And you can also register to be a support member, like going to an airport to greet a wounded warrior as they come home from an airport, or also a carry forward 5K, which is 5Ks in different cities around the U.S. that that bring Wounded Warrior Project members and volunteers together to fellowship in a 5K. All these things help our warriors receive a better standard of living. If we take action, we can create an independent, successful, and contributing members of the communities. Warriors will have hope for the future and a motivation to becoming better and overcoming their obstacles. They will receive help that specifically fits them. Soldiers will be able to go off to war secure in the fact that help awaits them should anything happen to them upon their return. But if we don't act, we will have veterans on the street with no hope, veterans struggling with bad lifestyle and PTSD. They gave so much for us, and we gave nothing back. Soldiers will have no motivation or hope that they will get better, but that won't happen. Today, I've explained the needs that plague our injured vets and ways you can help. I've also described what could happen if nothing is done for our vets, but also what is and could continue being done for our vets. I certainly hope that I persuaded you to volunteer for the Wounded Warrior Project. So volunteer today. Go to Volunteer to Help Veterans, WWP Veteran Volunteer Programs, or woundedwarriorproject.org, or call the Team WP and change a veteran's life.